Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Crencast. How you doing? I'm doing all right. What have I been up to? Well, I've been playing Donkey Kong 64, and I've been live streaming that. I live streamed about 8 hours of it yesterday. I'm going to continue that live stream tonight over on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Crendor, and I have played so many old school Nintendo 64 games now, platformers specifically, but it's giving me a new appreciation of the genre of platforming, because you start realizing what works in platformers, what doesn't work in platformers, and a lot of this I'm doing because it's leading up to Yooka-Laylee as well. And after playing the toy box, which I put up on this channel about a month ago, I am really excited for Yooka-Laylee because the controls are so good, and it felt like Banjo-Kazooie but better. And to me, Banjo-Kazooie had like the best platformer controls of all the N64 games. I've played Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Donkey Kong, of course, which I'm playing right now, and then Conker's Bad Fur Day. And then I also played Banjo Nuts and Bolts, which never again. So yeah, I just had the idea because a lot of people do these like big mega streams, like Jesse, right? He would do like 24-hour mega streams where they play a game like an old school, like Final Fantasy, or they played Super Mario RPG. And I always loved doing those streams, even like knowing a lot of those people, like they're my friends in real life, but I still enjoyed watching it. So I'm like, wow, for other people, like that don't even know all these people in real life and their flaws. You're like, yeah, Davis, that guy's an asshole. I'm just kidding. Davis is great. It's just so much fun to watch those types of streams, right? Because it's just like I think my favorite part about it is you're watching and you can like go do something else. You can come back and they're still playing. Like you could go to bed, you wake up, they're still playing the game. And I'm not crazy enough to do a 24-hour stream. I don't think my body can handle it. It probably could, but I would like be dead by the end of it, and I wouldn't enjoy it. So I like to break up my mega streams. So I do like 8 to 10 hour chunks in a day, and then we just do that until we beat the game. And I did it with Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie, I think I beat in like 9 or 10 hours, actually. It was kind of a short game. Hold on, I have it. I uploaded it to my YouTube. I'm going to check real quick. How long was it? Banjo-Kazooie Mega Stream. It was 9 hours and 20 minutes, which seemed really short, honestly. Like, I thought it was going to take me at least 12 hours and 9 hours, 20 minutes. But you know what? That Banjo-Kazooie, it was so good. The controls were great. The story was funny. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. She's like, I stole your younger sister to steal her beauty. Like, it's kind of weird. But it's like, all right, whatever. And you're just progressing through this witch's castle. And it's like a twist on Mario. Oh, Super Mario 64. I can't believe I forgot about that. I should probably play that one of these times too. I'm sure there's some other ones I'm like completely forgetting. I know there's like others with like Sony, like Jack and Daxter or whatever, Ratchet and Clank. But Banjo-Kazooie was the one I played as a kid. I played all the Nintendo ones as a kid, which is why I'm replaying them. And I just loved Banjo-Kazooie. So playing through it, I was like, dude, this was really fun. Let's do this for like other games. So I did Banjo-Tooie because I didn't remember like hardly anything about Banjo-Tooie. So replaying it was like this big nostalgia trip. And on top of it, I just played Banjo-Kazooie, so it's like, oh, I'm like getting the whole carryover story after just playing it. And that took, I put up like 5 parts of that. Let's see, 5 hours, that's 10, 14, 18, 19. That's about 21 or 22 hours to beat Banjo-Tooie. So about like another, what's that, game and a half is like an extra game and a half of Banjo-Kazooie onto the additional. So it had a lot of stuff. Banjo-Tooie had a lot of stuff in it. But that was also really fun. I love Banjo-Tooie. Conker's Bad Fur Day was one of those games where it was okay. It was funny. Like, it had its funny moments. Some of the humor, I was still like, like some people enjoyed it, but I was like, it's not really my style of humor. But there were some like pretty good jokes in it. In addition to that humor, it was like, I'd like one joke would hit and another would miss, and it was just back and forth. But the thing was, it's still a great game. Like I saw what they were doing. They're trying to make like a mature adult style platformer game, and they got it by Nintendo somehow. And it was the controls were bad. That was my biggest complaint about it, honestly. It was just the controls. The rest of it was great. And it was kind of short. Not like Banjo-Kazooie short, but it was like in the middle. Let's see. I uploaded that as well. I put all my mega streams up on the YouTube channel. Let's see. Conker's Bad Fur Day. It was 3 hours, 3.5 hours for 2 parts. That's like 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's like 12 hours. So just a little bit longer. And then Banjo Nuts and Bolts. I tried to play it. I tried really hard, and it just got to that point where they were like, you just got to make your car and do the thing. And I was like, just that in my head, that part of it is just like, this was supposed to be the third game. And you're like, and then you're driving in your car and you're like, this could have been a platformer, you know? It just kind of teases you in parts of it. It's like, gamers these days don't want collectathons. They want fast cars. And it's like, no, they want collectathons. They love achievements and shit. Is painful. So Yooka-Laylee is kind of like the second coming of platformers. It's like it's rising again, and you're just like, oh shit, dude. I am so ready. I'm ready to rejoice. I'm ready to have so much fun with this game. I'm so excited for Yooka-Laylee. But Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong 64, from the 8 hours I've played with it so far, because that was another game I played when I was a kid that I'm nostalgic about, but I don't remember a lot from. It's been interesting. I'd say the controls are not as good as Banjo, but they're not as bad as Conker. They're like in the middle. They've got some weird control issues at parts. And the game has like this weird lag issue that a lot of people have talked about, where it just, when it starts lagging, the characters speed up to like make up for that. And it just doesn't feel right. The frames kind of drop. I think it was just an issue with the game. Like they tried to rush it out a bit too fast or something, but it's not a bad game. And then just collecting a shit ton of stuff like the bananas and having to be like, all right, we got to switch back to Tiny. Then we got to switch back to Chunky, and we got to go over to Lanky Kong, dude. Lanky King. Donkey Kong. Or what is it? Donkey King. But I'm enjoying it so far. I'm excited to play it again tonight, and then eventually finish it. Apparently the final boss fight takes like 15 minutes. It's a really long fight. So it should be interesting. But it's fun just going back and playing these old games like that I'm nostalgic about. I want to do a Diddy Kong Racing one. I know that for a fact. Diddy Kong Racing was the first ever Nintendo 64 game I ever played. I got a Nintendo 64 in 2nd grade. Yeah, it was 2nd grade. And I got it for Christmas. And I got Diddy Kong Racing, and I got Star Fox. And I remember because Star Fox came with the Rumble Pack. And you were like, oh shit, the Rumble Pack. And I remember playing it in Blockbuster. Because they were like, check out the N64. And you could play, they had Star Fox, or they had like Super Mario. And so I'd always go there and be like, whoa, and you're like freaking out because you're like playing either Super Mario or Star Fox, and you're like, I'm only used to Super Nintendo, this is crazy, dude. And then you get your own Nintendo 64 and you're just like, oh, and you just play Nintendo 64 games all day. That was great. So I'd love to do Diddy Kong Racing, and then I'd love to do Star Fox as well. Star Fox doesn't even take that long. There's just various paths you can go in Star Fox, so it has a lot of different storylines or like progression paths you can take. So that'd be another fun one. But really, it's just fun going back and playing these old games and reliving nostalgia stuff, or like remembering that like I didn't beat a game, or like that I got stuck on certain parts and having to re-go through that now and being like, oh my god, how did I beat this? Or like, wow, this was really easy. How did I get stuck here? Oh yeah, I was in 2nd grade. So it's been pretty fun. Yeah, what else? What else have I been doing? Let's see. What happened lately? What day is it? It's February, the middle of February. It's been like really warm outside. Normally it's like 30 degrees. It's like 60 degrees, 65 degrees today. Like, what the shit, dude? In February? It's like we got California weather or something. It's weird. I don't mind it. Maybe it's that global warming. Might be that global warming they keep talking about. Yeah, it's been really nice out. Let's see what happened recently. Valentine's Day happened. Me and Toaster Woman went to Cheesecake Factory. And it was so crowded. Half the reason I wanted to go is just people watch. Because I love people watching. I talked about this in a previous Crencast actually, but especially on days like this where everybody's out, you get some good quality people watching. There was this one dude who was just dressed in a tux, like full blown like tux, all out in the mall, going to PF Chang's, and I was like, dude, I don't know. There's something weird to me about people dressing up to go to like PF Chang's or like Cheesecake Factory. Like, it's not that fancy of a place, right? It's like, it's expensive. It's actually more expensive than it should be, but like, you get a lot of food. Chipotle chicken pasta, best thing at Cheesecake Factory. So good. You get enough portions where you can take it home and have another meal out of it, unless you're really hungry or something. But you get that. You get bread. They actually give you a lot of bread. It's pretty good bread. I like their bread. And then you get cheesecake. It's great. I always get the s'mores cheesecake. Toaster Woman gets the key lime one. But she used to get the Hershey one. So that's just a fun thing we did. We also, it's just like there's so many people there. It was crazy. And there were like families going to eat there. I was like, dude, why would you bring your family here on Valentine's Day? You're going to wait like 2 hours to get like a table of 4. Like, at least the table of 2, it's like you got a lot of tables where you can sit at, but like, I don't know, dude. You couldn't even move in that lobby. And there are like people packed together, and there's like, where's Johnson? Where's Johnson? And Johnson's like, no. And they're like, where's Johnson? We're going to give your table away. And he like gets engulfed by the crowd. It's like, I'm right over. Johnson died that day. His like girlfriend or wife's just like looking out over the sea of people. It's like one day he'll return, but really he won't. What am I talking about? Let's see what else I know there was some other funny stories that happened there. Let's see. There was oh my god, I felt so bad for all the people having to work then too. Like the runners people, what do you call them? I guess they're called the runners. Like the people that seat the hostesses or whatever, like they would go seat people, like run back, and they're just like, all right, and they're like putting tickets in, like pulling tickets off, like, where's Jason, party two, Jason, and then there'll always be people asking him like, I got buzzed, where's my thing? Am I on the thing? And they're just like, yes, sir, we take it in order it came, and they're like, I'm important. I'm more important than everyone else here, so I should get... And everyone's just like, sit down, dude. Just sit down. So yeah, that's half the reason I enjoy going out then, is just the people watch. Otherwise, I wouldn't care if we just like stayed home and watched a movie. Like, I don't care. It's another day. It's a holiday. It's like a quote holiday where you're like, where it's like, all right, I guess we'll take part in this holiday. But I mean, you know, you could really just wait till the next day. I think a lot of people do that. You just wait till the next day and be like, hey, we'll celebrate Valentine's Day tomorrow. Have like our own Valentine's Day. You get like 50% off candy then. So the stores are just selling off their candy. It's just as good as it was the day before. You get a half price. Look at that. Right? Yeah, so it's kind of just, it's one of those things. And then there's the people being like, it is the dumbest holiday. Like, really? It's whatever, man. It's just another holiday. You know, to me, it's weird because holidays have started to become less special. Like when you're a kid, like Christmas and like all those big holidays, they're like, whoa, you like get toys and like everybody's all around and like families gather and you're like, whoa, and it feels like you're on this big adventure and like you got to go around. And then like when you get older, you're just like, all right, you got to not do anything today or go see family, and you go there and everyone's like, hey, I gotta go to work tomorrow, and they're like, oh man, and they're like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing all right. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And then you open presents and you're like, oh man, a gift card, or you got a shirt or whatever. Gift cards are probably my favorite gift, to be honest. Like when you get a gift card, it's just like, here's your gift card, it's to a place you like, go buy stuff. To me, I like gift cards. When someone gets you a shirt and you don't like it, then you got to be like, wow, this is a great shirt, thanks. And then you go to the store, you got to take it back, you got to wait in line, you got to get a credit to that store, and you practically got a gift card. Come on. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, as you get older, I think it's just because when you get older, you become more cynical. I think it's just because you get older, you become a bit more cynical, and you just see the negative in a lot of things. And you're just like, whatever, man. Right? Even that attitude of like, it's just another day, man. That's like that's how I think I thought when I was like 20. Right? You're like, you just get into your adulthood. You're like, it's just another day. Why doesn't anyone realize it? And then you get a bit more older and you're like, all right, it's like you see your family. It's like you don't see them too often. It's like a special thing. It's like a get together. It's a routine thing, right? It's a tradition. And it's the equivalent. I think it's the equivalent of what I was just talking about with Nintendo games, right? For a lot of older people, the big thing for them is family. I noticed that. You go on Facebook and they're just like, what's Gladys doing? Gladys is having children. How's her children doing? And that's what that is. But that's their nostalgias. They'll look back on these holidays and like talking to their family and their relatives a lot and be like, this is our tradition. This is our nostalgia. This is what we do. Remember 5 years ago on this nostalgic trip? So, to them, that's their nostalgia. To me, it's Mumbo Mountain. It's the same thing, but it's just different times, man. Different times. I think I just came full circle here. I think I did it. I was talking about this in my last video as well. It's just like the whole people go back to their old high school and they're like, oh man, look at this. That changed. I remember Jenny sitting there during lunch period doing her homework that was due in 5 minutes, and then we copied it, and then, you remember that, bro? Yeah. And then, to me, I go back to Tanaris, and I'm like, oh man, dude, remember when we used to quest there, and it wasn't flooded, and just these great memories there, and you go to Shimmering Flats, and like, it's awesome, it's just, oh man, this is the best, dude. Like, the nostalgia to video games is just as real as the ones to real life. But if you don't play video games and grow up with them, you're not going to experience or understand that. Because they're just like, just a game, right? How many older people say that? It's just a game, all right? How about you go out in the real world and you... Why do I keep doing that? It's like the Rick and Morty thing. It's the same thing. It's why I experience nostalgia in MU Online. I always do my thing every year because I just remember I relate that to 7th and 8th grade. Just going into MU Online, playing that game, talking to my friends, and just having some goofs. Having some goofs, some gaffs. Hearing that blacksmith noise is just like pure nostalgia. Or the dragons in Laurencia, the wind noise. It hits you back. It brings you back, dude. Brings you back to 82. I don't know why I picked 82. All right, I think I've ranted on nostalgia for long enough. But do you find that... All right, I keep doing this now in like all the videos because I like reading comments when it's more like constructed, where I'm like, here's a question for everybody, instead of everyone being like, Crendor, you're stupid. Now someone's going to write that. What video game gives you the most nostalgia? Right, because I feel like most people here play video games. I feel like a lot of people are just going to say WoW, because WoW's like the main one. But, like, for me, it's going to be either MU Online or even a lot of these old Nintendo 64 games I'm playing. It could be before WoW, right? It could be like some old school Nintendo games It could be Sony, your PlayStation, maybe PlayStation 1, 2. Who knows? What game gives you the most nostalgia, and what specific memories or like sounds or visuals do you remember for that? Some other ones are like Battlefield 1942, the original one. I remember playing that specifically with a couple of my friends, and only like those specific moments are what I remember. I don't even remember like anything else from the game, just those specific moments, which is really weird. It's like my brain was like, all right, put that in the filing cabinet, get rid of the rest, it's garbage. So now I can do my little sports segment. Let's see what's going on in sports. NBA All-Star Game is tomorrow. NBA All-Star festivities are tonight. I always enjoyed the festivity stuff because that's where they do the dunk contest. But it seems like every year now with the dunk contest, it gets sponsored. And they're just like, now Jimmy Butler's going to dunk over a Honda 2017 Honda Civic. This isn't sponsored by Honda. Sponsored by Honda. Like, it becomes more and more just advertiser branded. It's like, are they just faking all this? Like, did they pick this guy to win it? Like, and now Jimmy Butler did that super dunk, but now here comes Michael Jordan, and he's going to super dunk over the all new pair of Nike shoes. Like, oh, Michael Jordan won, and he wins the Nike Shoe Award. Like, obviously they fixed it so he could win then, right? It feels fixed the more and more they do this. Because I always enjoyed watching NBA dunk contests. That was my favorite thing to watch when they did the All-Star Game. I wish it's like a home run derby in baseball. Everybody loves the home run derby, but nobody cares about the actual All-Star Game, right? And then aside from that, baseball's starting up again, which I actually care about again now that I watched the Cubs last year. Now the Cubs are winning, and I'm like, yeah, go Cubs. So that's fun. And football's over. Patriots won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Once, when they were up 25 points, Atlanta or whatever it was, I was like, I feel like New England's going to come back. I always had that like feeling in my stomach of like, New England's going to come back, dude. I can feel it. And then once they started like getting rolling, I'm like, here it comes. They're coming back. And then they did. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. It reminded me of shit the Packers would do all the time, where they go up by like 25 points or something, and they're just like, all right, we won. Let's just play prevent defense and just chill. And it's like, no, just keep scoring, get more points. And then all of a sudden, the other team caught up, and you're like, well, all right. So, you know what? New England earned it, dude. I didn't want New England to win, but Atlanta gave it away. So that sucked. And then hockey. Dude, I can't wait for the hockey playoffs. NHL playoffs are my favorite playoffs to watch out of any sport. Like, you can turn on any NHL playoff game, and it's so exciting. You don't have to know either of the teams. You don't even have to be a fan of the teams. You can just turn it on and be like, oh, shit. And they're like, oh, he hit the pipe off the things. And you're just like, oh, shit. People are getting smacked in the boards and everything. It's great. I love it. NHL playoffs, those are coming up soon. So I'm excited about that. And my favorite day of them all, the NFL draft, is now very close. Hold on. When is the draft? Let me see. 2017 NFL draft. It is... Bum. I don't know. What is it? Oh, here. 2017 NFL draft is... How does NFL.com not have the date of the draft? Where is it? NFL.com, please. Draft date. Here we go. April 27th through 29th. So that's 2 months from now. Pretty much 2 months from now. I love the NFL draft. I'm contemplating this year of just doing like some sort of like mock version of the NFL draft, maybe a Blood Bowl draft, maybe just my own like little parody of it. I think it would just be fun because I love doing that whole like. Here's the thing: every time I watch the draft, everyone's like, "This is so boring. How could you watch the NFL draft?" It's because of the way they like break down the players. On top of just, I enjoy the strategy of football, so I'm like, how's this guy gonna fit into this team scheme? Because I know like all the teams and stuff, right? And then watching like teams do stupid stuff, like when Tampa Bay drafted a kicker in the second round. Uh, it's just trades going on. I love it. That's my favorite. That's like all I do in Madden for that reason. It's just team building. I love it. It's kind of like deck building, but it's like sports team building. They do mock drafts. Like, is this guy going to go here? And you're like, oh yeah, this guy will definitely go here. And they're like, they took Billy Bobson out of LSU. And you're just like, what? That guy's a 4th round draft pick. You take him in the 1st round. What are you doing, Jacksonville? And then everybody rants about it. And it's great. I love it. So I feel like I need to get some people into watching the NFL draft. I would love to even watch it with somebody and live stream us. It's one of those things where you could live stream us watching it, so you can't actually see the TV, but we'd be able to see us watching it. And so it'd be allowed. It wouldn't be copyright or anything. I think that'd be fun. I'd at least have fun. And like, you can go to NFL.com/draft/2017. It's got all the prospect breakdowns and stuff. Like, you can see all the stuff I do in my little, what's it called? My little, there we go, guy, my characters. It's all true. Like, here's Jamal Adams, safety out of LSU. I'm going to give him a 6.6 on the grade scale. 6'1" is his height, 213 pounds. This guy is a natural-born leader of men. Well-built, and he's not going to hesitate for 1 second as a hitter. Steps downhill, looking to punish the running backs and set a tone for the defense. But the weaknesses, he's too handsy and willing to clamp onto receivers. This is going to get penalties. Hand charging downhill, but a little stiff when asked to retreat. Now, he's got long speed, appears to be average on tape, but when you see him in real life, your eyes are going to pop. Anticipation is another key issue. He's got to work on that at the NFL level. I would compare him to Darren Woodson. All right? I actually just was reading straight from this analysis thing, natural born leader of men. That's an actual thing they wrote on NFL analysis thing. Natural born leader of men, well built, will not hesitate for 1 second. All right. That's just like, people think I'm making this stuff up. I'm not. I'm like really generating like these fake profiles because I've heard so much of this stuff. We can go to Ryan Anderson, outside linebacker out of Alabama. All right. Thick shoulders. Chest with good upper body power. He exhibits professional approach on the field, disciplined and married to his assignments. He did not marry his high school sweetheart. He married the game of football. 6'2", 31 3/4 arm length, 258 pounds. You put this guy on an outside linebacker, slide him in a 3-4 slot. I'd compare him to Ahmad Brooks. See, I love doing that too. I can do that all day. This is why I love the NFL draft. This is like my Super Bowl. I love the NFL draft more than the Super Bowl. Not even going to lie. Unless the Packers are in it. Now I'm getting way too much in the NFL draft and nobody knows what I'm talking about. Somebody does. And you get me. All right. I think we're done for this Crencast. I need to start uploading these onto SoundCloud again because I forgot. I'm going to do that. Thank you for listening. Go listen to some other ones. Or don't. Whatever. Okay? Okay. See ya.